I would like to apologize in advance for a few glitches in the video, but if you're just listening, it'll do just fine for you. Hey, you're here with PriorityRS. I'm Joe.
And I'm Stan.
And we're going to be discussing some recent and upcoming game updates to RuneScape. The Solomon Store, the Evolution of Combat, and we might get around to clan avatars towards the end.
Exactly, guys. So, hey Joe, what do you think of the Evolution of Combat? Exactly.
It's got its good parts and its bad parts. The combat portion is the bad part. I do like having the new animations. The idea of having weapons and armor on my back is a much better idea than carrying it around all the time.
Yeah.
And there are certain bonuses like having extra health in the armor, but they really need to work out how you can recharge that.
Exactly. Like when you eat food, for example, I don't understand like why it heals so much, or compared to how it used to.
Yeah, and your armor gives you a ton of extra health, but you have to recharge that health whenever you put on the armor, which
exactly.
is kind of useless.
So every time.
And since everything is modified to damage through that extra HP, it causes some issues, especially along the lines of if you don't recharge this armor, a level 3 man will kill you.
Yeah, I don't see how it's really logical that you have to eat food every single time you put on a higher set of armor.
Yeah, and if you take off your armor, you lose that entire HP bonus, and you have to build it back by eating again. So you can't just switch your armor even outside of combat without losing all of your health.
Also, one thing I don't really like about the Evolution of Combat is the ability bar. There's just a whole bunch of things that, just not right with the ability bar. For example, you can't really AFK combat training anymore. You have to spam abilities just to kill a monster.
Yeah, I would like the abilities bar if it wasn't needed for every form of combat. I mean, it's great for PvP and PvM, but just training combat, you can hardly do any damage without sitting there and clicking 40,000 times on different things.
Exactly, and I don't really think most people know exactly what every single ability does, but they just use it so that they can, do more damage. I think that needs to be more clear.
Yeah, and abilities should work different, because some of them are completely overpowered and will one-hit kill an enemy, whereas others will completely stop your enemy from hitting you for 10 seconds. And when a battle can be decided in 5, a 10-second block on hitting is a real issue.
Yeah, I will say though the abilities look really nice.
Yeah, the
animations are good.
Yeah, they also need to fix the player models and the run animation. I love having hands. I do not like my neck being as long as my head is tall. And I don't like running like an idiot.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I guess they try to make the hands more realistic by making fingers, but it's really different from the old style RuneScape where it's just kind of like, a little sphere on the end of your hand. I mean, the end of your arm.
Yeah, and the hands are great, but they don't do anything for you. All they did was cut out little pieces of that sphere when they made the hand model. The emotes where you point, you still don't point with a finger, you just point with this big old limp hand now. And that really doesn't look good. It looked better when it was just a sphere.
Yeah, it's like all your fingers are just like attached to each other, like one big blob.
Yeah, my fingers are like webbed with clear webbing or something. What's the point of it? It looks nicer, but it's useless, and in some circumstances it actually looks worse. Especially in the case of emotes.
So, Joe, what do you think are the positives of the Evolution of Combat?
Gotta say the animations. I love the new combat animations themselves, and like I said, having armor and shields on your back, it makes a lot more sense. But downsides are definitely more than the upsides on this.
Yeah, I'll definitely say they did balance out range and mage more so that people will use them more. Because now it's like, if you're using melee and you're versing someone that's maging, you're gonna lose. Vice versa. With as if someone's ranging and you're using melee gear, you're gonna beat them. They really did make it so whatever combat advantage you have, you're gonna win. But
it's a little bit too much though, because someone half my level who's using mage will beat me when I'm using melee. And I mean, they've barely even trained their mage, yet they can beat me because I'm just using a different style of combat. It should be a better balance, so that's two people of the same level or similar levels using two different skills will have that chance against each other. But people, once someone half my level shouldn't beat me that easily.
And I think it's really strange how, basically, if you have 99 defense and 99 attack, you'll be level 200 combat. So that's basically saying someone with those stats and then the rest level 1s could be level 200 combat. Someone could have 99 attack and 99 defense, 1 strength, and still be level 200.
Yeah, and it does do a good job of showing pures, like range pures. You can definitely tell if someone has max defense and range. You'll know now. But it doesn't work because if I work to get all my combat skills to 99, I'm still going to be the same level as a guy with just 2 combat skills at 99.
Exactly.
And that's imbalanced, really. They should really do all combat skills to 99 will get you a total level of, say, 500, so that every skill is represented equally, and you can know approximately how strong someone is in all of their skills instead of just their top 2 skills.
Well, see, that's just it. That's kind of like the old combat system, as where, you know, every 4 defense levels or every 4 attack levels or every 4, if you have a mixture of any of the 3 different styles, you can level up.
Yeah. But now it's just, I mean, you only need your top 2 skills. And a range pure will look as strong as someone who's got everything done. Okay, and so next you want to talk about the Solomon store. What do you think of it?
Well, the Solomon store, even though I'm not really a big fan of real-world trading, it's purely cosmetic, so that's the plus to it. But to be honest, I don't like it, just because the animations aren't really that great to me. Like, I mean, they're kind of goofy. Like, they're not really like medieval or RuneScape style to me. Yeah. Like a guy mining a rock with his head, or a guy chopping down a tree with his legs.
I can agree with that, although I do like the Zen resting.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Isn't nice.
Another real issue with it is, you know, you pay to play this game in order to have access to 100% of content. But now you really only get 90% of content because this content is available to people who will pay extra, whereas I already paid extra for all this content. Yeah,
it's not as bad as the Squill of Fortune. I'll give you that, but it's still not my favorite. The Squill of Fortune is just, like, outrageous, considering that people can buy experience. Even though they would have to spend thousands of dollars to get a 99, it still isn't fair. It's kind of an unfair advantage that someone can just click a button and get free experience or gold.
Yeah, see, I don't mind this update because everything's cosmetic. It's not game ruining that I don't have the mask or whatever that this guy has. But, I mean, they should have it available somehow. Maybe, you know, there should be a way to earn rune coins in-game. Maybe buy them with in-game gold. That way, even though I don't want to pay 20 real-world dollars, I can still have access to the same content as the guy who spends 20 real-world dollars. I have no problems with Jagex making $1 or $2 on the side, but I want to have access to the same content as the people who are paying, without having to pay the extra price, because I'm already paying the extra price. I mean, free to play should have to pay for it, but they're free to play. But members should have a method of access to it, even if it's slower, because we are already paying for this content. If you like this video, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe, and we're out for now, and we will hope to see you later.